Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel and to a brand new video. So in today's video I'm going to be talking about things that you might not know about after postpartum. So all the after birth things that happen to you and your body that maybe you just don't know or not talked about that much. So I'm going to cover some of these today in this video, so let's get straight into it. So the first one is going to be about your body after birth. So straight after birth, you are still going to look pregnant. Your stomach will still look like you're about 6 months pregnant. You certainly don't shrink back down to your former body straight away. I mean, that takes some time for the sort of bump to sort of go down. So straight after birth, you might look a little bit like a bit of a deflated balloon, a little bit of saggy skin, but that's all fine. So after birth, you still do look pregnant. So the next one is the bleeding. So you do get a lot of bleeding after birth. This took me by surprise as well. Obviously, throughout your pregnancy, you're carrying all this extra blood around your body as well. So you do bleed a lot after birth, so you're going to have to buy some really sort of thick sanitary towels in preparation for that, and the hospital can provide some, but it's best to bring your own, and you're going to be getting through these pretty quickly, so it's a lot heavier than like a very, very, very heavy period. There's quite a lot of blood after birth. Another thing that people don't really talk about is actually the pains that you get after birth, like the after birth contractions. These can be really quite strong. You know what I mean? I needed to take some paracetamol painkillers for these. That's how sort of painful they were. I've had 2 babies now, and the more babies that you have, the stronger these after pains get. So after my second birth, they were definitely stronger than my first. So the after pains after birth can be quite strong. So next one is the fact that you might get a weak pelvic floor. So it is so important, obviously, throughout your pregnancy to do your pelvic floor exercises and also to carry them on after you've given birth. I think it's really quite common now that people are having these issues where you might wee might come out, or you might get a bit of a surprise if you cough or if you sneeze. I think it is incredibly important to carry on doing these pelvic floor exercises after birth as well as during your pregnancy. So yeah, just really think about that after as well. And I know that there are some apps and things like that to help remind you to do it. And I remember someone telling me once, if you drive, a good way of doing it is do it at every set of traffic lights. If you stop, do your pelvic floors at that traffic lights when you've stopped. So I thought that was a good way of reminding me, or maybe you can think of a situation or a good way that you remember how to do them as well. Just carry on doing those pelvic floor exercises after birth. Okay, so next up is engorged breasts. Your breasts are gonna get milk on around day 3, and they're gonna get big, they're gonna get huge and engorged, and this does go down. It does go down, obviously, but just no one really tells you that kind of happens. So just so you're not surprised, that does sort of happen around day 3 when milk comes in, and you will get engorged breasts. So also your stomach muscles may split. I'm very fortunate this didn't happen to myself, but as your bump gets bigger, your stomach muscles may actually split apart. This can be rectified and go back together. Have a bit of therapy for that. So it's just no one really tells you that could also happen. I wouldn't worry or concern about it. It's just something that could happen potentially to you. Also, after birth, there is a real fear of going to the toilet, and that is a real thing. I remember being really quite scared about going to the toilet for the first time. whether it stings or be painful. You know, you could have stitches down there. It's all a bit tender down there anyway. So the fact of going to the toilet can be a little bit scary at the beginning, but it will all be fine. It's just that little bit of fear of going to the toilet for the first time. Okay, so the next thing people don't really talk about much is hair loss after birth. So it's completely normal for your hair to fall out. Essentially, obviously during pregnancy, your hair grows and gets really thick and long. During pregnancy, all the hormones going through you, and actually after birth, sometimes you may get a lot of hair fall out. I know I did during my first pregnancy. This time around, it hasn't started yet. I mean, my baby's only 8 weeks old at the moment, so that could still happen. At the moment, my hair hasn't fallen out second time round, so it could be different within different pregnancies as well. But that is completely normal for your hair to fall out. You will get regrowth, so don't panic. You're not going to have, you know, lots of bald patches. Your hair will have regrowths as well, so that does happen after birth. They also don't tell you that breastfeeding isn't easy. It's actually really quite difficult and something that you really need to work on with yourself and your baby, and yeah, work on together. You know, there's obviously you can get help at the hospitals or at support groups like breastfeeding support groups and centres, but it certainly isn't easy. Getting the latch correct is so important. So yeah, just breastfeeding isn't quite as easy as you might seem it to be. So obviously during pregnancy, you have so many hormones going around your body, and obviously this happens after birth too. And you have so many hormones that you might actually get hot flushes. I know that during the night, I would sort of get night sweats and just really hot and flushed during the night. This was something that I didn't expect or know about after birth, but this is completely normal. So also, if you are breastfeeding, get some snacks. Carry snacks with you everywhere, because you are going to be so much hungrier than you normally are. I think it's like breastfeeding burns like 500 extra calories a day or something like that. Like, it's a lot more calories that you're burning, and it's a lot more calories in energy that you're going to need. So it doesn't have to be unhealthy snacks. Obviously, healthy snacks the better, even if it's fruits or some nuts or something like that. Just carry some snacks around with you, trust me. So that is everything I wanted to share with you today. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this sort of video, then please do hit the subscribe button. I'd absolutely love to have you. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.